The 2016 Cadillac ATS-V Coupe. Is this the American built and engineered BMW M4 killer we've been waiting for? I'm Jay, and welcome to the latest episode of CarBuzz Unboxing Reviews. And before I get started, I want to thank Woodland Motors for letting CarBuzz come on down and film this car for you today. So let's get started. Now, the Cadillac ATS, you can get this as both a coupe and a sedan, but of course this one is the ATS-V. V means it's a high performance version. Think how BMW has its M division and Mercedes has its AMG division. The V designation signifies high performance. Now, the ATS-V Coupe here, from the moment you step inside, you can tell that it is a luxury high performance coupe. Now, it's not necessarily an outright sports car, muscle car like the Chevrolet Camaro, even though both the ATS and the Camaro share the same brand new Alpha rear-wheel drive platform. The ATS-V Coupe, it's just different. It has a different nature. Again, its target is the BMW M4. Now, the ATS, you also have to remember, it is the smallest car in Cadillac's lineup. The mid-level is the CTS, and then they just launched the brand new CTX, which I did an unboxing review for you as well. But I do like this interior. It's jet black with jet black accents. The black piano plastic, you can see that. It's okay. It's all throughout the dash. My concerns with black piano plastic is it's going to collect dust very easily, and I'm afraid it's going to scratch. But other really nice things that Cadillac has done here is a hand-sewn interior, carbon fiber trim, OnStar 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot, 18-way power heated seats. It's an overall really, really nice place to be. And this car is also equipped with a luxury package, which costs an extra $2,100. You get sport alloy wheels, headlights with an LED signature, universal home remote, nav system, Bose surround system. Now, this car also does not have the $2,300 Recaro sport seats. Those are optional. I've been told they're very, very supportive, and if you want to take this car to the track, go for the Recaro sport seats. These standard seats are nice, but you want the extra support at the track. Now, the rear seats. This is what I was really surprised about. There is a decent amount of legroom for a coupe like this. Now, if you want the most rear seat space, obviously go for the ATS-V sedan. But these rear seats were also quite supportive, so they're not completely useless, kind of like they are in a Porsche 911. You can fit a couple of adults back there, even though I would not recommend it for a long road trip or anything like that. But from the driver's seat, the positioning of everything is just spot on. The reason being is because Cadillac engineers took the ATS-V Coupe and its sedan counterpart to the Nurburgring in Germany and just fine-tuned the hell out of it. And part of that fine-tuning was to find that perfect driver's position. Ah, yes, 6-speed manual. It's just great to see it. I mean, you're hearing about cars these days, they're losing their manuals. The Mercedes C63, it doesn't even offer a manual anymore. And the BMW M4, well, I know for a fact BMW is really pushing its dual clutch on customers, and you'll probably have to special order an M4 with a manual these days. So let's talk about this dash. Now, this is an 8-inch screen. It is Cadillac CUE infotainment system. It's very similar to the one that I reviewed for the CT6 flagship sedan, and I like it. I was surprised to see how intuitive the system is. The user interface is, for the most part, very, very easy to work with. But the overall dash design, I have to admit, I was a little disappointed in it. It just doesn't feel as premium as it should be for a car in this class. If, for an example, you sit in the new Mercedes C63, that interior is just outstanding. It even makes the BMW M4s look bland, and I thought the M4's interior is still quite nice, but when you compare that Mercedes to what you see here, I recommend you do that. It's quite clear that Cadillac has some work to do. Now, this car only came out a couple of years ago, so a midlife refresh is probably about another 2 years away, but I would really like to see Cadillac redo the dash design to give it the more upscaled feel that this car really truly does deserve. And of course, you have a couple cup holders there. Believe it or not, automakers specifically designed these center consoles for the American market with 2 cup holders. It's just something Americans demand. And sometimes storage space is sacrificed in the center console because of those cup holders. Interesting fact right there. And this ATS-V Coupe is actually very well equipped. For example, it has a power sunroof that costs an extra $1,000. The suede microfiber steering wheel and shifter, that's an extra $300. But if you're willing to spend big time on a coupe like this, I don't think going for these extra features most buyers are really not going to care. They're going to want them. Now, what this car does not have, and this is for the track enthusiasts out there, is the $6,200 track performance package. What's cool about that is that it offers a performance data recorder video system, which, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. If you're at the track, it will record your lap times and provide you feedback afterwards. If you're trying to shave tenths of a second off, you're going to want that. But for anybody else, save yourself $6,200. Another complaint, a 5-inch driver screen here. I don't know about any of you, but this information display here, it just looks outdated to me. Again, I review a lot of cars and I see this all the time, and this is something Cadillac needs to work on here. It's got just about everything else right in this car. It's just the interior design refinement needs to be up to notch. So let's talk safety. Now, the base ATS sedan and coupe, they've earned an overall 5-star crash test rating from the US government. This car is also equipped with dual-stage front and side airbags, driver and passenger knee airbags, ABS brakes. You're in good shape. If you're concerned about safety, don't be. Because remember, safety standards from any government in the world these days, European, North American, they're very strict, and automakers have to comply if they want to keep selling cars. And another thing that I like about these high-performance luxury coupes is the fact that they're excellent daily drivers. This one, nice amount of trunk space, rear seats, 60-40 split folding. You can take this around town and be an absolute luxury, or you can go take it to the track. And there's a lot of things going for it by taking it to the track as well. For an example, this car it comes with something called magnetic ride control, and I explain that more in depth with my Chevy Camaro SS review, but basically it's a magnetic suspension, and it is the world's fastest reacting suspension. In fact, the Ferrari 458 and the Audi R8 have slightly different versions of it, and you're getting it here in a GM product. And when compared to the pricing of its German competitors, this is one hell of a good value. One of the best suspensions in the world. The German cars don't even have it. But this car's combination of the Brembo brakes, the magnetic ride control, and its Michelin Pilot Super Sport tires is just utterly fantastic. The handling here is... I was just beyond impressed by the way this car handles, whether you're just in the normal driving mode, the standard touring mode, or when you put it into sport and track mode, and it also features launch control. It's just an overall wonderful, wonderful car. It's well packaged. It's nicely designed, at least from the exterior, which I'll talk about in a moment. And under the hood, I mean, it doesn't hold back. This is a 3.6 liter twin turbocharged V6. Total of 464 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque. As I mentioned, it's paired to a 6-speed manual transmission. Now, you can get an 8-speed automatic, but for driving enthusiasts, rowing your own gears is definitely the way to go. Performance 0 to 60 miles per hour, 4.2 seconds, and a 12.5 second quarter mile at 117 miles per hour. Top speed, around 189 to 190 miles per hour. And this is more or less the same 3.6 liter V6 that you can get in other GM products, except it has a couple of big turbochargers. But let's see what that sounds like with this engine base. Now, just to give you some power performance specs, this car has 39 more horsepower than the BMW M4's twin-turbo straight 6, but it also has 39 less ponies than the 4-liter twin-turbo V8 found in the Mercedes-AMG C63S. But as I mentioned, the Mercedes, it doesn't come with a manual option. The M4 does, as does this ATS-V Coupe, obviously. And I really love this exterior, especially the front end design, that black mesh grille, 18-inch wheels with the brake calipers. You have the hood air extractor. And I think in many ways this car is something of a sleeper. It's not very, very flashy. For an example, what was flashy was the previous generation CTS-V Coupe. That had naturally aspirated V8, and it just looked badass. This is a little more undertoned here, even though it has a carbon fiber front splitter. And it just looks the part. In fact, the ATS-V Coupe is a little wider than its sedan counterpart. And I like that wider look. It makes it look just more aggressive overall. And this car also comes with a carbon fiber package that costs an extra $5,000. You have that front splitter I mentioned, carbon fiber hood extractor, rear diffuser, composite black rocker extensions, and composite body color spoiler as well. For $5,000, it's nice, but it's not essential here. And even this exterior paint costs, I believe, an extra $995. Those 18-inch polished wheels, an extra $900. The red brake calipers, if you can see them, $595. So the features add up very, very fast. And the German automakers are experts at making packages add up fast. Speaking of which, let's talk pricing. So a base ATS-V Coupe starts at $62,665. This car right here has $12,690 worth of extra options. Grand total, $76,350. And as I was mentioning, combined with that magnetic ride control, this is still a very good deal. For an example, the BMW M4 and Mercedes-AMG C63S, they both start at around $67,000. But once you start adding in those packages, you're going to go well over $80,000 for each of those cars. So you're still spending $1,000 less here for the ATS-V Coupe and getting a better suspension than either one of those German-made cars. Bear that in mind. But say if none of these three cars appeal to you, there's also the Lexus RCF that has a naturally aspirated V8, and that car starts at around $64,000. But say you don't want to spend over $60,000 and you still want something German, like there is also the Audi S5. It's not quite as powerful or as technology feature rich, even though it holds its own very well as these cars, but it's still for around $55,000. So what do I really like about the ATS-V Coupe? Well, first off, it's chassis tuning and magnetic suspension. Again, Cadillac engineers were at the Nurburgring and they did their homework. They benchmarked the BMW M4 and in my opinion, they surpassed it. The acceleration is it's awesome. The steering response is fantastic, even though this car has an electric steering system as opposed to a hydraulic system they used to have with older Porsches and BMWs, but the electric steering system here is outstanding. And it's just a very well balanced car. I really like the exterior, except for one thing. The rear end styling. I think it's kind of bland. What else don't I like? I think the dash layout is not quite the best, as I mentioned. Cadillac needs to improve the dash design, bottom line. It just doesn't feel as premium as it should for a car in this class. But overall, Cadillac has hit a home run with the ATS-V Coupe, and it should be proud of the hard work that it did, and it's paid off. So I'm out of time, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any more questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Any suggestions for future reviews, also leave those in the comments section. And be sure to subscribe to the CarBuzz Unboxing YouTube channel, and be sure to read the full review of the 2016 Cadillac ATS-V on carbuzz.com. So until my next review, thanks for watching, everyone.